My name's Therese Crutcher-Marin, and I'd like to share with you a little bit about my first nonfiction book that I'm in the midst of publishing. The title is Watching Their Dance: Three Sisters, One Genetic Disease, and Marrying into a Family at Risk for Huntington's. The story is about a young woman, myself, who takes the biggest gamble of her life and marries the man that she loves, despite the fact that he and his sisters are at risk for Huntington's disease, a deadly brain disorder that strikes young and there is no cure or treatment for it. The book is from my perspective of what it is like to live at risk for this horrific disease and the impact that it had on my family and our lives. Watching Their Dance is really the first book. There is no other book out there that chronicles over 30 years the experience of a family living at risk, living under the shadow of Huntington's disease. And it shows the stress and the anxiety and the hard choices and the sadness and the loss that occurs in families that have this disease. There are books written out there about Huntington's disease, and many of them are written by folks who have the disease, who were diagnosed, and how it is impacting their life. There are also novels that have characters who have Huntington's disease also. I hope that readers can learn from my story that whatever the challenge is that you have in your life, and everybody has challenges, that you can find resources out there to help you through this challenge or learn to live with this challenge in your life. It may be divorce, it may be a chronic illness, a disabled child, or the loss of a loved one and the grief and the loss. I don't want to dwell on just the negative with Huntington's, because through the years I've learned that Huntington's enriched my life. And you may think that sounds kind of crazy, but it did. It allowed me to love more deeply, and it helped me to move aside all the noise that we have in our lives today and to focus on what was important, which was John and my family and my children and our life together. So it really allowed me to learn how to focus and to acknowledge and to be grateful for what I have in my life at that moment. And so I guess the biggest lesson that it taught me, and it took me years to really acknowledge this, is that I needed to learn to live in the present, because that's all we have is the present. No one knows what the future is going to bring. So I tried not to think about what was down the road. I just lived in the moment, because life is too short. And, I have to admit, some days I did that well and some days I didn't. When I was staring in the face of my three sister-in-laws who all died because of Huntington's, it was difficult to do that. But anyway, I am grateful for Huntington's, and also for the fact that my husband was tested in January of this year and he does not have the mutated gene. So I hope in 2017 you will look for my book in Barnes & Noble or on Amazon and other websites. And please know that when you do purchase my book, that all the proceeds will go to Huntington's Disease Society of America, which is the premier nonprofit organization that helps people live with the disease and also helps with the research for a cure. So thank you for listening, and please have a great day.